Hey guys, it's good to be back with you. Last night I did my first PM video. Geez, it looked like I had a tomato seed underneath my nose. It was my little tribute to Schitt's Creek, a very funny show that I like. Just letting you guys in on it. Just a little recap. It was about specifically season 2, episode 5. Bob's Bagels, definitely the show that made me realize, wow, okay, this is a good show, and it did end on a high note, which is great for both father and son Eugene Levy and Daniel Levy. But today, let's talk about meditation and the Matrix. I know it sounds like that, but it's a little bit like that, but it's a little bit not like that. So here's where I want to go with this. Starting with a couple of days ago during the work week, I haven't done it for a while, but I decided to just stop in for a short meditation session before I started my workday. With that said, it was only 12 minutes. I did it over 2 days in a row. And sometimes you wouldn't think that you're missing out on something if you're not a meditator or you don't meditate as often as you should or think you could. But the truth is that every time you do it, there's a benefit, and that's what I want to share with you today. Maybe it would have been more worth my while to meditate yesterday before just dropping a quick one on Schitt's Creek. But it's funny how the names are going. We're talking about meditation, just that title alone, Schitt's Creek. I just had to say it one last time. And The Matrix, funny enough. You guys remember for those of you who had seen the first Matrix, you guys remember when at the end, Neo, that character, was dodging some of those little things that could definitely hurt him and change the course of his life. Those agents were just firing away, right? So, with that said, you guys remember how slow mo everything was, and then at some point, Neo just put one in his hand and was like, and he looked at it, and this thing was designed to really hurt him. On YouTube they say unalive. So I don't want to get too much into all of that, but I want to connect right back to the meditation in the Matrix. Here's the most profound thing I think you'll benefit from. If you're new to it, again, start off small. Maybe just start with 5 minutes if you can, but do it consistently, because I know you can probably just do 5 minutes, squeeze it in somewhere in the morning before you start your day. Even if you're in the bathroom, and that might be the only quietest place, okay? So just giving you some real ideas. But start off slow, because sometimes for some of us, if we're just going to start meditation and we've never done it before, so a lot of stuff that might have to be processed and thought through, and sometimes the only way you could process all of that is in quiet time when you're sitting quietly. So my advice to you is, please honestly consider it as a valuable thing. Exercise, whatever motivating word that works for you, that will be like brushing your teeth, like doing anything you would do for your health, because this is it. This is the effect. Remember, I just kind of mentioned the end of the Matrix first movie and how phenomenon it was to see that Neo almost had everything in control, whatever was coming his way, and he had everything. That was no easy ending to survive from and become a victor in the end. But it's not that I'm talking about us overtaking things of that nature. That was an epic film. Our day-to-day lives are just dealing with our coworkers, the businesses that we work for, our managers, and then there's also all the stuff that happens in our other life that's not necessarily connected to work as well. And I think Severance is just one of those movies that's coming in really strong right now, talking about that divide between who you are when you go to work and who you are when you're not working, for somebody else, so to speak. So with that, what I discovered, and this is really what I'm sharing with you, I'm not going to take as much time as I have in the last few videos. I think I can sum it up like this. You want to feel things coming your way a lot slower than they are, you need to leave some room in your mind, okay? Because if your mind is filled up with all, let's say, troubles, stresses, bills, family stuff, health concerns, I'm not saying those aren't real. They're very real. They just don't go away. You have to address them and be responsible for them. But what I am saying is, you don't take the time to meditation, you got a full head. Okay, and what are you gonna maneuver or manage with a full head that's packed already? And how successful do you think you could manage those next steps going forward? You probably could, okay, but it will probably be like you're just putting everything you've got into it, feeling maybe exhausted. Now, I don't want to build up. I don't want to say meditation for the sole purpose of building up some drama or that has not occurred. But what I am saying is, give yourself the opportunity to clear your mind. Okay, a lot of thoughts have to live their moment. Let them. But if you're going, streaming, and you're not giving any time to your mind, even when you sleep, you're not even consciously aware of what you can do. So you could be filling yourself up with a big dream. Have you ever had a big dream where whatever was going on, it was so maybe adventuresome or I've had some that were really scary. It seemed like they lasted more than a day, and I wake up and I'm exhausted. So, I didn't have no control of that. I was very immersed in that dream. I don't have a lot of dreams like that. But that's the thing, immersive dreams. What are you controlling there? So, stop the streaming for a second, especially if you're doing it before your workday. Just take 5 minutes at first. I did 12, okay? And I found it was very worth my while to make the time for it. And again, I don't know if I said it even though I really wanted to. I know I said it once lightly, but just really get comfortable with the fact that if you even started with a small amount of meditation, closing your eyes, sitting in quiet, no electronics, dot, 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 and in a quiet place, you're going to find that when you start your workday, or I want you to give me some feedback on this, maybe you'll have a different results, but I want to see if that when the things that are coming at you, because we have no control of what'll happen at work, right? Could be one transaction could be a good vibe, the next transaction might be a little bit not a good vibe, funky on that level, and you never really want to respond aggressively because it just makes matters worse for you, for the organization, and you're not really paid to do that, right? So what I found is that meditation gives you, like, it's almost like life is coming at you slow motion. You feel it may not be, nothing may be changing in the so-called time factor, but it feels like things aren't coming at you fast. I attribute that to having some space in your mind. So at least the conscious processing part has room to do so. It's not packed thinking about all these other things. Because when you meditate, all those other things get a chance to breathe and expire because you really just want to watch them go. Like you're watching traffic, just letting go, not committing. You don't want to connect to anything. And even if in the beginning stages of meditation you do, you'll find that if you extend your time, you're not going to, if you're not going to act on it, why keep it in your head if it's not even valuable? But that's the thing. Some point, another process will take over, and that's meditation. And it'll do things for you that you can't actually do without doing the nothingness of meditation. So peace and love, my friends. Get into meditation, especially before you start your productivity of any given day. Why not even on the weekends for your good relations with your loved ones, friends, and family? I'm not saying you wouldn't have those good relations without, but trust me, it's such a deep, deep, deep relief. It's like you can't explain what you were before you meditated, but you're kind of in awe after you do. And I really want you guys to feel in on that, especially during your work weeks, because for some of us it's a trying thing. It's going to take a lot of our week for sure, and you have to be dedicated to it. And I want us to always excel in whatever we're doing, because no matter where you're working, there are skills there that you can build on, right? So let's think about it like that. And maybe if we're not so packed in the head, we can start working on those skills, because things are now not coming at us as quick as they were as if we had a packed head full of concerns about bills, troubles, dot, 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 etc. Again, meditate just for a few minutes. It's just sitting quietly in a quiet place. Close your eyes. No electronics. No extracurricular sounds. If you got something dripping, just sit through it. Don't worry about it. I mean, I don't know what catastrophe would have to move you from a meditation, but remember, you can always break for an emergency. But I'll leave you with that. Just try it. I mean, if anybody's going to see this video and you do try, even if you've never did it for the first time, and you start with like 5, 7 minutes or 12, great. Let me know about that. Let me know if you found the same experience. If it made what you thought was going to be a tough day better. And maybe that's the funny part. I'm only saying this at the end. If you are going into a day that's giving you some kind of heaviness, meditate, because there's nothing else you will do or can do or take or ingest that will change your frame of mind other than sitting down and doing nothing and just seeing how well you could absorb what you thought was a concern. Because once you do that before your day starts, you're off. Things are coming at you and you can just maneuver them. I'm not saying you're going to find this 1000% success every day. We know it rains when we plan a picnic, okay? So just remember, the more you got of it, the more power you have with it. And this is meditation. Again, I say peace and love to you. It was a great pleasure speaking to you guys today. All the best in your weeks to come. Meditate for a few minutes before you start your workday, folks. Bye.